Yeah, look, I think we're in a position where, we've got to look ahead to, obviously the Nations League starts in September, and then obviously I think the World Cup draw and will subsequently take place, and I anticipate the World Cup qualification will start in March 2025, which means we'll have 10 games to play, 4 friendlies and 6 competitive games before we get into the World Cup qualification for 2026. So you kind of have to look ahead a little bit in that situation, and you have to look at where players, some of the older players will be at that point. Will they still be, playing club football at a level that will help us and obviously support them playing international football, or do we need to obviously continue to introduce new players? So I think there's a balance in the squad. There's a lot of young players in it. We are low on experienced players, and that's just where we are at this minute in time. But again, I think we showed in the game against Denmark that the young players are adapting to international football. They had a difficult campaign in qualification, and that experience will hopefully help us going forward. Yeah, I think there's no doubt that it's starting to work. I spent yesterday with Andy Waterworth, and I was out at the academy and had my dinner out there, watched the lads train. So they've done an amazing job. Where the academy where it started from with Jim Magilton, and then obviously Andy coming in, and it just continues to grow and develop. And really what we are seeing is the younger players between the age of 14 and 16, really starting to prepare and behave like full-time footballers in an environment like they would do in the professional game in England in particular. And we see now that they're attracting the attention of bigger clubs than maybe in the past, and also that they have a resilience about them and a maturity about them that maybe in the past wasn't there. So we don't think that the players are coming home as early as maybe what they did. And hopefully that's it will lead to, when younger players go into the professional game, that it increases our player pool. But Jamie's one that has kind of had that journey as a player where it's taken maybe a long time to get where he is at this minute in time. Not dissimilar to Dion Charles, if I'm honest. He was in our 21s a number of years ago. I remember when Stephen Robinson was the manager, Jamie was in the squad. I think he came off the bench a couple of times. And then his career went from, being in the Football League to non-league football, back into the Football League, a number of loans in that period. But I think sort of in the last 2 years, the move to Stevenage in particular has really suited him. He had a really good season last season in League Two, and obviously they got promoted, and he's carried that on this season. I mean, he scored 21 goals in all competitions this season. I think 17 or 18 in the league, which probably makes him, if not the top goal scorer in the league, certainly one of the top 3. And I just think that it's a chance for us to have a look at him. We've brought him in. He's obviously 28, 29 years of age, so he's not a young player, but he's a very young player in terms of international football. And I think we're constantly looking for maybe that player at the top end of the pitch and competition at the top end of the pitch to give us a cutting edge. I think, as I say, those games that we lost, 1-0, that's when you hope maybe your striker can get you something in the game. And so we give Jamie the opportunity, and we look forward to working with him.